What's up, guys? We're back for another Marvel Legends review. Today we're taking a look at what is likely going to be the only other figure in the Captain Marvel Kree Sentry wave that I'm going to be looking at just because it's so MCU heavy, and that would be the Gray Gargoyle. So this is a figure that honestly I'm not too crazy over, but it's a comic figure. It's an older C-list kind of villain, so I'm slightly interested. And of course it comes with the BAF head, and I am trying to build him, so when I can finish him, I'll do a video on that as well. But we've got this guy here in the standard Marvel Legends packaging. You can see him there in the window. We've got the logo down there on the bottom. We've got artwork on the side, and we've got artwork on the back instead of a product shot. We've got our lineup, and this time with actual actor pictures rather than product shots, and our Build-A-Figure. So let's do it. Let's pull this guy out and take a look. Alright guys, here he is out of the package. Dr. Paul Duval, or the Gray Gargoyle as he is known. And this is a figure that, you know, it's kind of interesting. I never thought I ever needed one. I'm not sure I still do. I think this is probably going to be our peg warmer for the wave, if maybe not alongside a couple others in this one, because this is kind of a weird mix of figures. Not to mention the fact that he's kind of obscure. I'm not going to say he's really obscure, but he's definitely not known to the general public. So let's get started. We're going to take a look at Articulation. We know exactly what's coming with this body though, but we're going to run through it real quick, just see what he does. So the head can look up, he can look down, he can rotate, you can bobble side to side a little bit. Arms go out, they swivel, bicep swivel. We have got double jointed elbows, so they move pretty good. You get more than 90 there. We have got hinge and swivel at the wrist. We've got a crunch forward. You can go back, but the cape is obviously going to kind of get in the way. Waist twist, legs go out only that far, kick forward, kick back. Again, the cape is going to hit. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, so you can bring his knees out behind the cape if you want. And then we've got a shin swivel, and we've got rocker and hinge down at those ankles. Now, as far as the overall look and feel of this guy, I think that has to be really the only draw for this figure, outside of folks that are just maybe the most hardcore of Gray Gargoyle fans. This guy just looks kind of weird, but at the same time he looks kind of boring too, because if you don't know who he is, you think, okay, who's the gray dude with the cape and the blue gloves and boots? I do think in general that he looks pretty decent. You know, I get what they're going for here. I get the speckled plastic in there. It looks concrete-ish in some way. What I think of when I think of a Gray Gargoyle figure, though, is not speckled plastic. It's more of a chiseled body type, like we saw way back from Toy Biz in the 5-inch line, you know, long ago, 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, and he was kind of a chiseled guy, so he looked like he was cut out of stone. Obviously, that's not exactly the look of Gray Gargoyle, but it kind of gets it across. This guy, if you don't know who he is, he just kind of looks, okay, he's gray, he's got some blue on him, he's got a weird cape that is attached to him, interestingly. It hangs really nicely. I think it looks kind of odd, but it definitely is not coming off. And there is a touch of translucent plastic to this guy. You can probably see it in the cape. You can see orange shining through. And when you shine a light through this guy, you definitely can get a hint of translucent plastic with the abs and some of the more, you know, thinner regions where there is actual articulation and joints and things like that in there. So in the thighs as well, you can see some. So similar to what I discovered with the Genus Vel figure. It's there, but it's not necessarily at the forefront of the figure's design. The head is more so the easy way to spot it. And I think it works out pretty well. You know, I like translucent stuff. I don't know if necessarily a concrete guy needs to be translucent, but I kind of get what they're going for. I'm sure it has something to do with that speckled plastic as well. Beyond that, though, you know, he's got the paint on the hands and the gloves at the forearms, and he's got the boots. What I'm really unsure about with this figure are the feet. So he's got the kind of clawed, monster-y kind of feet. And this guy's not a monster, though. He is a dude. He's a doctor. He's a scientist. He's a human. He doesn't have monstery feet, so I'm kind of confused on that. Someone let me know if he should or shouldn't have that. You know, I'm not 100% sure. It certainly doesn't add or detract for me. It's just more of a curiosity, really. Other than that, though, my only real gripe with this guy in terms of the body structure is I wish he had a closed fist. He has nothing to hold, but he has an open style hand and he has a gripping hand. I would just rather have had him had a fist, because right now you've only got him looking like he's holding something, but there's nothing there. Now, as far as the head sculpt on this guy goes, I'm pretty happy with it. In general, I think this is the one area that they kind of got him pretty well. So they've got the really big grin on his face, which is pretty good for this particular character. They've got the pupilless eyes, and then you've got the mustache that's painted on there, and then you've got those big, you know, rock eyebrows, I suppose. Not to mention he's got the kind of crew cut hairstyle. And this is definitely the way to know what's translucent or not. The head is 100% translucent. Just shine a light in there, and he kind of glows and lights up a bit. So if you care about that kind of stuff, like I do, whether it matters about the figure or not. It's kind of a cool little bonus aspect to his design, I suppose. But I do think the head very much does fit this guy. I think it's sculpted nicely, and the paint is applied really cleanly on my example here. Now, as far as accessories goes, there is exactly 0 for this figure. It's a gray gargoyle. He doesn't have energy blasts. He doesn't have stuff like that. He does have a gripping hand with nothing to grip, but that's a different problem. The only other thing that's included in the package is the Build-A-Figure piece. So we've got the Kree Sentry head, and as of this review, I do have a line on all of the parts, so I'll be able to build this guy here pretty shortly, and we'll take a look at the Sentry in a little while. But this guy on his own, no accessories to speak of. So at the end of the day, this is definitely one of the more basic Marvel Legends for sure. There's not much you can do to sugarcoat that. He has a basic body, basic articulation, minimal paint. He has no accessories, but if you like the character, I'd say there's no reason to not get him. I do have some questions about why he has a gripping hand versus a fist, why he has the feet he does instead of boots, but overall those don't really detract from the figure itself. I like the fact that they have translucent plastics. It somehow works despite the fact this guy is a rock. He does have a pretty solid head sculpt. It definitely works for him. It's got that really nefarious kind of cheeseball look on his face, which definitely does the right thing for this particular figure. The speckled plastic works to bring across a concrete style look. I don't know how many different ways they could have actually done that. So overall, I'd say if you like the character, go for him. You might be able to skip him, get him later on, but if you need the BAF piece, might as well go ahead and get him now. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Gray Gargoyle figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.